This season, Texas Tech is switching to all mobile ticketing. That's right. Season tickets, mini plans, and single game tickets for all Texas Tech football, men's basketball, women's basketball, and baseball events are now mobile. So, what does this mean for you? Convenience. Because your tickets will be stored on your mobile device, you no longer need to worry about receiving or printing physical copies of your tickets. This new process eliminates the need to coordinate meeting times for ticket distribution by allowing you the flexibility of easily transferring your tickets from your mobile device to the personal device of friends or family. So, arriving to the game at different times is no longer a problem. Eliminating the costs of printing physical tickets allows us to put more resources into enhancing both the student-athlete and fan experience. Prior to arriving to the stadium on game day, be sure to check your Apple Passbook or Google Pay and confirm tickets have been added. On game days, all you'll need is your phone, your physical parking pass, and of course that Raider Power Spirit. If you have any questions, feel free to contact support in the Texas Tech ticket office at 806-742-TECH or visit texastech.com/mobile ticketing.
It's typical Tech. Typical Tech.
It's a touchdown, Red Raiders.
Fantastic.
Lubbock and leave it.
And they hail from Lubbock, Texas.
That's pure Texas Tech. Hello and welcome to another edition of Typical Tech. My name is Robert Giovanetti. I am your host and brought to you by J-Ferg Pros, a proud partner of Texas Tech Athletics. When it comes to roofing, construction, and plumbing, don't settle for anything but the best. Contact J-Ferg Pros, the best solution for your home or business. We're so glad you could join us here on Typical Tech. So excited. We got football team starting fall practice here this coming up week. We know now the schedule is set. We've got the 9 conference games plus 1 non-conference game. And so we thought because of that and because of a very special event that happened this weekend here on campus that we bring to you one of our Red Raider football players, and that's Tony Bradford. You know, so much turmoil, so much controversy right now in our country. And I think our Red Raider football team really took a step forward, making their voices heard and having a unity walk. And we had a unity peace walk on campus last Sunday. The President Skubanek was there. The mayor was there. We had all the teams, athletic teams here represented. And the great thing about it, the idea came from and was organized by our student athletes. It was a very impressive moment. Tony Bradford was one of those student athletes who led the charge on that. Let's hear from Tony. Tony, first of all, how excited are you about this week, getting everybody back officially and getting started Friday? I mean, it seems like it's been a long time since you guys been on the field.
Yeah, it's definitely been months, and now I'm just glad to be getting ready to get back into action.
Hey, you've been busy off field. I want to talk a little bit about on the field in a little bit, but you were one of the organizers yesterday of the on Sunday of the Peace Walk on campus. So talk us through a little bit about. I mean, man, you're a young guy and you've already taken on a leadership role.
Yeah, I mean, that walk, honestly, the thought process was originally for us to do a walk similar to that on the west side of Lubbock, which is, you know, kind of the more wealthier side of Lubbock, because we do walks like that a couple of times on the east side, you know. And so my goal was like, let's move it on the west side. Let's see how many supporters and stuff we can do from over there. But with the COVID stuff, they said that, you know, the city wouldn't approve of it and everything like that. And so Mr. Kirby Holcutt, our athletic director, and President Skubanek, they was like, how would y'all feel if we did the same thing just in our own backyard, you know, on campus technically? And we was all like, man, that's a great idea. Can we? Like, would a city, you know, would they approve of that? What are the rules and regulations of that? And I mean, they was like, it's our area. We want to do it if y'all want to do it, but y'all got to put it together. And we was all like, okay, great, let's do it.
From your perspective, you led the way too. You were out there in the front leading the pack. How much pride that give you looking back and just seeing that long line of your fellow student athletes, campus people, everyone else falling behind?
Nothing but a big smile on my face when I actually turned around. We made it towards a Memorial Circle, and I seen like how long the line was and how many people were actually there. I'm like, it turned out perfect.
Hey, so you know, it's kind of an interesting situation, and there's been so much turmoil in the country this year. And when did you kind of realize, hey, I'm a leader, I can affect change? I want to be a part of change?
when George Floyd was murdered out there in the streets, I think the whole world realized enough was enough, and I was definitely a part of that. And I'm like, this can't happen anymore. It's unacceptable. Like, what is it going to take for stuff like this to stop? You know, like, what do it have to happen to me or one of my family members or one of my teammates or someone I'm close to? Like, do I really want to wait till it hit close to home before I actually start doing action and doing something about it? And I was like, absolutely not. I refuse. We need to start now. Like, we already got the whole world that's starting to do things and be changing. So let's bring it here to Texas Tech and love it. Let's be a part of it.
And you're a guy that, it's a great story. You want to be a police chief someday. When did you decide, hey, I want to be a police officer?
It was a few years ago when I was decided that I was just like, man, like, we need a change to happen. But instead of just, talking about it from being an outsource of it, I was like, the change got to happen on the inside where the problem is, which is in some communities, the police officers. And I'm like, okay, I think I want to become a cop. I think I could do that. I think I could be great at that. I think I could build, a connection with the community and have people stop being so afraid of cops and showing so much hate towards cops and vice versa with, with cops with the community. Like, I knew that the only way that change is going to come is if more minorities take over the job on the inside.
It's a great example for you, right? That you can firmly believe, hey, that Black Lives Matter, and you want to have a voice there, but you can also support good policing and be somebody that's an advocate for the police.
Absolutely, because it can happen. You could be that cop that's here to serve and protect. Where you have that side of you that you have to be firm without being disrespectful, and then you got that side of you where you could relax a little bit and go play with the kids or help somebody out, help an old lady or something put her groceries up in our car, or whatever. You don't have to be a big bad guy or big bad woman just because you have that badge on.
So you interned with the TTU PD, right? Did that open your eyes at all? That give you any inside look that maybe you didn't have before?
Yeah, it definitely did. It definitely gave me that idea, like, man, I definitely want to do this. I was only a security guard, but I got to meet so many police officers here on campus I got to build so many connections with the chief and the captains and lieutenants. And opportunities like that don't just come every day. And I'm just glad that I took advantage of it.
And it actually is one of those rare stories where COVID kind of helped, right? Because it extended your internship. And
right.
Was that pretty cool situation for you to be around those guys that much longer?
It was kind of like mixed emotions. I'm like, man, I can't go to practice and stuff like that because of COVID. Everything was kind of shut down. But then on the bright side, I'm like, well, I get to stay at work longer. I get to, continue to learn more and continue to make a little bit of money and stuff like that. So it was definitely a little mixed emotions, but I definitely, I appreciated every moment that I had with them.
What was what's maybe the biggest takeaway you had from your time with PD during your internship? What did you learn that maybe you didn't realize going into it?
What I learned there is that, one thing that can definitely ruin relationships with people is if you lie. And those people up there are police officers and stuff. So, they're cops. They don't like being lied to and anything like that. But they was telling me all these examples of stuff of how people have gotten fired and, cases have gotten bigger, like kids have gotten in bigger trouble on the university just for lying by itself. And I'm just like, that makes so much sense. If I do something wrong, because I'm not perfect. If I do something wrong, just be flat out honest with it. And, they can always work with me and that's the goal. And that's what they want people to realize too. Like, you don't have to lie to us because we're cops, because at the end of the day, they're going to investigate. They're going to find out the truth. It's just better that if it comes from you. When
you look at Texas Tech in the community, how do you feel like the Lubbock and Texas Tech community has accepted this team and you guys going forward?
I think by yesterday's walk, you could definitely tell that we have the community have our back. They're here with us. They love the program. They love the university, and so they're going to support our beliefs and our ideas. And you can't ask for nothing better than that.
How much you paying attention to? It's like every day there's another story about what might happen with the season? You try to block all that out and just say, hey, I'm planning on going and let's go.
Listen, I live it day by day, and I adjust to whatever's going on. I know that there was rumors about the Big 12 coming out with some plan today about possible schedule changes and what the season is going to look out for us. But, I mean, I can only control what I can control. I just sit back, relax, and I let those people do their job, and I do my job over here.
What for you personally have you wanted to work on most during the offseason? Where did you want to get better heading into this year?
I want to get better in my taking on run blocks and pass rush. So I'm hoping that, I get a chance, to show that off this season and show how much I've actually been working, me and my teammates.
Hey, with no real kind of organized spring, because we were a weekend, right? When I know you did have some strength conditioning before that, but do you feel like you're able to get stronger and get yourself in shape during the time away?
Absolutely. Honestly, I wasn't here for spring last year, but when I talk to amongst teammates, they tell me all the time, like, we just look different as a program. And they said it feels different, like the mindset has changed and everything like that. And I know for me personally, I could tell, like, those months that we did have before COVID hit, like, I did get bigger, stronger. I came in at like 250 something. Now I'm 290. I'm locked in. I done got used to my weight now. I just trusted Coach Schultz and his staff, and I'm locked into the program, and I'm ready to get to rolling.
Hey, you're a guy that comes from a really successful high school program, so I know it's hard on everybody. How hard on you, the lack of success last year, and how much that drives you going forward?
Can you repeat that question?
How hard was it last year for you? You guys had so much success in high school, right? And then don't have that much success last year, but you guys were so close. And so how do you use that to motivate you?
So close, but yet still so far. But when you go back and look at those games, look at those results, and realize how close we were to most of those teams, how many points we did lose by, you can't honestly be mad at it. It's like, well, I done seen, this was Coach Wells' first season last year, and I done seen reports and seen things where, like, a coach come into the program and they're getting blown out by teams. Like, we're actually competing. We're actually going toe-to-toe to the fourth quarter. That was about this year, just getting ready to just win those fourth quarters so we can win more games.
What do you think that is? What do you think the missing ingredient was for last year's team? Was it just maybe belief in yourselves and just one or two things either way could have kind of turned the tide?
As being a young guy, I really don't honestly know as that answer. But what I do know is that I believe that the mindset has changed. I do believe that people have bought into this program now. Now we're just ready to show off to the world and, show that we can play and we will win a Big 12 as soon as possible.
Hey, I think that shows you – I already knew you were a smart guy, but I think what shows you're even smarter is it's smart people say, I don't know, right? That's a great answer that you gave. Like, I don't know the answer.
I'm all about honesty. I'm not here to front or anything like that.
Hey, what if I'm a recruit, not me, but you're a recruit that comes in and Coach Wells brings some kids in, what do you tell them? Hey, this is why you need to come to Texas Tech.
I tell them, the main thing I tell every recruit when I'm hosting and stuff, I tell them, like, there's nobody that's going to believe in you more than these coaches here. I'm talking about on both sides of the ball, on all three sides of the ball when you come to special teams. Like, these coaches bring you in, like, they trust you, they want you, and they're going to take care of you. Like, I'm a living witness. Like, when I first came here, in high school, people was telling me, like, man, college is completely different. It's more scarier. The coaches really don't care for you and stuff like that. So when I came in, I'm thinking to myself, like, man, like, these guys might end up forgetting my name like that. Like, they just might just forget about me and just throw me in with the rest of them. But it wasn't like that. Like, they took their time. They taught me everything. I went there and I asked questions. I got answered. I built those connections with them. And this coaching staff is the best coaching staff I've ever been around.
Do you feel like the team, even though you guys have been apart, chemistry good, do you think?
Absolutely. We're all one. We're all one. Like, we're all in it together. That's why practice get a little bit intense, because we know that's why we're ready to really move on into fall camps, because there's been a lot of trash talking, but it's nothing personal. It's all fun and games. We all know that we'll take care of each other and we'll have each other's backs.
Hey, you are a young guy, and a lot of people are afraid to speak in public, and you get asked to do that. You feel you like doing that, or do you get nervous at all? Like yesterday, you spoke in front of a couple hundred people. Were you nervous?
I think honestly, you always have that piece of you that is a little nervous, but I'm confident in everything that I say and everything that I do and what I believe in and stuff. So if I know that it's for a good cause and it's nothing that's going to get me in trouble or anything, I'm willing to do it.
All right, Tony, man, we're so proud of what you're doing. Looking forward to seeing you on the field. I'm glad you guys are starting on Friday and appreciate you taking a little time with us today.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Joe.
If that guy doesn't make you proud to be a Red Raider, I don't know what to say. And if that guy doesn't reflect typical Tech, again, don't know what to tell you. Very proud of, very glad Tony Bradford is here, part of our Texas Tech athletics program and football team. Look forward to seeing him play on Saturdays this fall. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks to Jay Ferg Pros. It's been Typical Tech. We'll talk to you again next week. It's Typical Tech. Typical Tech.
It's a touchdown, Red Raiders.
Fantastic.
Lubbock and leave it.
And they hail from Lubbock, Texas.
That's pure Texas Tech.
This season, Texas Tech is switching to all mobile ticketing. That's right. Season tickets, mini plans, and single game tickets for all Texas Tech football, men's basketball, women's basketball, and baseball events are now mobile. So, what does this mean for you? Convenience. Because your tickets will be stored on your mobile device, you no longer need to worry about receiving or printing physical copies of your tickets. This new process eliminates the need to coordinate meeting times for ticket distribution by allowing you the flexibility of easily transferring your tickets from your mobile device to the personal device of friends or family. So arriving to the game at different times is no longer a problem. Eliminating the costs of printing physical tickets allows us to put more resources into enhancing both the student-athlete and fan experience. Prior to arriving to the stadium on game day, be sure to check your Apple Passbook or Google Pay and confirm tickets have been added. On game days, all you'll need is your phone, your physical parking pass, and of course that Raider Power Spirit. If you have any questions, feel free to contact support in the Texas Tech ticket office at 806-742-TECH or visit texastech.com/mobile ticketing.